Today, I'm going to give you a step-by-step on how to buy your vehicle from home, whether it's new or used. Let's get into it. Let's start with brand new. Now, I like to find one vehicle at one dealership that checks all the boxes. It has the right price, it has the right features, and the dealership's even maybe offering a discount. I'm going to call that dealership and hopefully I'm able to get some out the door numbers. Now, once I've achieved that goal, I'm going to go ahead and try and find as many dealerships as I can in my search radius that also have that exact vehicle. The reason I want to find the exact vehicle or as close to it as possible is because I'm going to use one dealership's numbers to negotiate with another. I'm going to ask them to beat the numbers, and I want to have apples to apples. Once a dealership has given me out the door numbers, I'm simply going to send those to all of the competitors that have that same model and ask them if they can beat the price, and whoever gets the lowest price wins. Because used vehicles are not going to be apples to apples at different dealerships and we can't use competition to drive the price down, what we need to do is strengthen our chances of getting a good discount with numbers. We need to put a lot of lines in the water and hopefully we'll catch a big fish with one of our offers. The last thing you want to do is ruin your chances on getting something you really liked because you made such a lowball offer. Make sure you do your homework, check the VIN, check the trade numbers, check the market. You could be getting a good deal and don't even know it. Now remember, this whole time that I'm contacting dealerships, I'm doing it through email or text. Very little phone calls are actually happening. I personally like to call the dealership first to get the ball rolling, let them hear that there's a real person, I am excited, I will make a deal, and then continue on from there in text, mostly because I like to have everything in writing. Okay, so after all this hard work, one of the dealerships we're talking to finally gives us the price we want. We're excited, we're ready to make a deal, but we're not going to go to the dealership yet. First, we are going to get the financing squared away. This is not something we want to do in-house at the dealership. That's where we could be pressured and talked into rates that we would never accept. If the dealership can offer you incentivized financing through the manufacturer, oftentimes this is going to be better than what you could find anywhere else, so utilize it if it makes sense. Otherwise, I always recommend checking just for a reference what your bank or your credit union would give you for that same vehicle loan. The dealership makes money off of the financing, so they have every reason to try and jack the rate up. This is just a good way to keep them honest. If you do use the dealership financing for some reason, then always say no to their first offer. No matter what rate they tell you, that is the worst one for you and the best one for them. Always say no. You'd rather just not buy the car. You'll go get your own financing, but you won't take that rate. They will always come back with a lower rate. I absolutely promise. Now we've negotiated the best price. We found the best dealership. We've got the best financing. Our last step is to actually go into the dealership and physically purchase the vehicle. Sign wet signatures, check the vehicle out, and make sure we love it. A lot of you are going to get to the dealership and of course you're going to be happy. It's going to be exactly what you thought it was. Some of you may not like it because you didn't do that test drive first, and that's okay. You should have made a list at home. This was the first one on your list. There should be a second, third, and fourth. Just go to the second vehicle on your list, and if this vehicle's not going to work, make a new list. If you love it, your next steps are to sign the final papers. I want you to use the numbers that you negotiated as reference to the papers you're signing in that finance office. Make sure your bottom line is the same bottom line they're showing you and they didn't do anything tricky. After you sign these papers, there's nothing you can do about it. So you want to make sure all the math adds up and you're getting the same deal you were getting on the phone in-house. So just like the interest rate and just like the price of the vehicle, anything the dealership tells you up front is always a hard no because that's going to be the best deal for them. Same thing goes for your aftermarket warranty, your gap insurance, and anything else the finance manager is going to try and sell you at the end. Simply tell them I can get a better price for that somewhere else. If you can give it to me for a better price, I would consider it, but not at that price. Every time they are going to lower their price, I promise you, I just saved you thousands of dollars if you follow that information. Anything you sign in that office or agree to, ask that finance manager to make you a copy of it for your records. There is nothing wrong with you getting this information. It's your name, your credit, and your butt on the line. And all too often I hear these stories about the numbers changing and they didn't agree to certain things that they signed for. It's best to get it all in writing when you're there and when you're talking about it so nothing gets lost in translation. For more tips, tricks, and hacks just like this one, please follow Billy the Car Kid.